Whether you're a new or an established entrepreneur in your business, the lifeblood of growing that business is, of course, working with clients. But in order to get those clients on board, you have to get some sales calls. You have to speak with people that are actually interested in your services. However, most people are actually really struggling with this exact thing. Whether they're posting on social media and getting nothing in return, they're struggling in terms of what to say in order to get those clients. Maybe you're scrolling through Instagram all day, hoping that someone reaches out, but yet no one really does. Or you're trying to sit in Facebook groups pitching everybody your services, but then no one is biting. Or maybe you've been trying to reach out to all the people you've known, maybe going to networking events and all that stuff and trying to pitch your services to those people. And of course, no one is interested. What the heck do you do? Where my students or clients are consistently getting their own clients on board pretty much every single day, every single week, every single month on repeat. Whether it's getting their programs completely sold out for their group programs or courses, or getting a totally booked solid roster of private clients for their services or consulting or coaching work. So what are they doing that's different? Well, there's a lot, but in today's video, I'm gonna share with you 7 tips to help you get more sales calls on the calendar so you can hopefully enroll more clients into your business as well. Now, before we get started, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me below, what is it that you do in your business? What is your service? What is your work that you do with clients so that I can cater and customize my future videos to you as much as possible. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of future videos. Now, let's go ahead and get started. There are 7 tips I want to share with you to help you get more sales calls booked because you need those friggin' clients, right? So let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, focus on activities that actually get you sales calls booked. This sounds super simple and easy, but most people are actually getting this completely wrong. Most people will go and scroll through Instagram, liking a bunch of posts or maybe posting some of their own things on their feed or on Instagram stories and trying to build a business page and trying to do all these different things that are taking them hours every single day, but they're not doing the core essential thing that actually gets you more calls booked, which is, of course, talking to real people and then making offers. It is as simple as that. You need to make sure that you are actually making offers, right? So if you are not making it easy for people to book a call with you, they're not gonna book a call with you. If you don't talk about the fact that you are open, your calendar is open to speak with potential interested people that might be interested in actually having a transformation in their life, well, they're not gonna do it, right? People have very short attention spans, and unless you tell them outwardly, like, hey, this is what I can help you with, let's get on the phone so I can actually help you, the likelihood that they're gonna do it is very, very slim to none. And also, you scrolling and you posting on social media random quotes and random things is not gonna move the needle unless you have that call to action in place. And of course, unless you're actually getting into conversations, meaningful conversations with your ideal prospects. So if you're not prioritizing conversations, relationship building, actually having a direct call to action in your posts or in your marketing engagements, in your posts and your activities, you're definitely missing the boat. This is something I talk about a lot more depth inside of my programs and courses. But for you to get started, if you are interested in learning a little bit more, I do have a sales enrollment guide that you can check out. You can go below in the description and download that. It's completely free, and it's all about how the whole sales enrollment process looks like, how to actually start getting more clients and things like that. I get into that in a lot more depth in there as well. Tip number 2 is to follow up with past leads or past clients. So this is a big thing that a lot of people don't realize can be a huge cash injection for you. Being able to connect back with a former client or a former lead, a lead being someone that you spoke with on the phone before, they ended up saying no, or they went in a different direction, being able to stay in touch with those people and reconnecting with them every so often when you're looking to get more clients on board, maybe you have a new service or something like that, can be a huge gold mine. Anytime I enroll into a new program in my business, I always reach out to former clients first. I always reach out to former leads first to give them kind of like a first first grab, if you will, to having a conversation whether this offer or service might be a good option for them. And I typically get at least one, maybe more clients that are actually interested and actually become a paying client. So if you're not having that as a part of your strategy, make a list of all the people you've spoken with in the past and reach out to them and see if they're open to actually having a phone conversation with you in the next week or so. Tip number 3 is to utilize referrals. So ask for referrals from happy clients, former clients, or even your acquaintances that might have a connection to people that could potentially be a good fit. So the big mistake people typically make is that they're just kind of like, hey, if you have someone that's interested, send them my way. It's very vague of a call to action. And again, we want to make sure your call to action is very direct, it's clear, and the person that you're speaking with and asking for the referral knows what to do to help you get that conversion. The best thing that you can do is to have a 3-way introduction with that person. So if I'm reaching out to Sally, who's a former client, I would say, hey Sally, I know that you had really amazing results, and I would love to see if you know someone that would be a great fit for getting the same results as well. Let me know if you have someone in mind, and all you have to do is just do a 3-way introduction. Let's just do an email. You can email me, have her CC'd, introduce us, and I'll take it from there. You want to make it as easy as possible. And then your goal is to get this person on the phone, tell them how you can help them, and hopefully, if you're good at sales, to actually enroll them into an actual program or a package. Tip number 4 is to send an email to your email list with a specific invitation to get on the phone with you. I know this, again, sounds very simple, but very few people actually have dedicated emails that they send, an email campaign that they send to their entire email list, inviting people for an actual call, right? You want to make sure that you give them a reason to book this call, tell them why it's important, and actually give them a very clear call to action. So don't try to hide it inside of a newsletter where it's like, here's a blog post, here's another blog post, by the way, let's book a call, bye. And you're trying to kind of bury it with the other content. Make a very direct invitation. Hey, I have my calendar open. Hey, if you need help with this, let me help you. This is the next step. Here's a call to action. And don't just send it once, send it a few times. And I'm not saying send the same exact email a few times, but have a few different angles and then send that email out to your audience to maximize those call bookings coming through for your business. Tip number 5 is not to just call it a sales call, but come up with a fun name for having that conversation with you that's a little bit more either results oriented or benefit oriented. So no one wants to get in a sales call. If you call it a sales call, it's going to be very hard for you to get any call bookings. A lot of people will call it a discovery call, which is much better, or a clarity call, which is also much better. But the best thing that you can do is to actually come up with your own unique name for that phone conversation. So if you're a relationship coach, this could be a find true love session. Or if you're a health coach, maybe it's your weight loss accelerator session. Or if you're a business coach, maybe it's a social media audit call. So you want to come up with something that's going to sound sexy and enticing and interesting and have an energy of, I'm going to get something out of this. And of course, if the person is a good fit, you can still enroll them into your programs as well. Tip number 6 is to sell the sales call. Now, I don't mean that you should be charging for your sales call, though sometimes that does make sense. And that's something that we'll talk about in my programs, not here. But we want to actually have you do the effort of selling the sales call. And what I mean by that is you want to have me be sold on the concept. Like, why should I talk to you? Why should I care? You want to get on the phone with me, of course, because like you want to sell me on your thing, but like, why should I care about that? So you need to do a good amount of time to actually have the person understand, what am I going to get out of this call? What can I expect in this call? What are we going to talk about? What's going to happen? So don't just say, hey, here's some value, book a call with me. It's like, why should I book the call? Who are you? Why should I do that? I'm busy. So you want to tell people the reasoning behind getting on the phone conversation with you when you know that they're probably very, very busy. Nobody has a lot of time available to them, right? Maybe you're working with busy moms or busy professionals or entrepreneurs or whoever. No one has time. Everybody complains about that all the time. So how can you make your offer stand out and have the person take the time out of their schedule to use it on having that conversation with you, right? So actually go through the process. What's going to happen? What's the value? What am I getting? Walk them through the details. And this will make the person feel a lot better when it comes to booking the call. So if you're making the call to action very easy, like, hey, just book a call and we'll talk, maybe that's why people aren't booking. Maybe they don't really know what the heck this thing even is, and they don't want to ask because people feel shy about reaching out to you to ask a question that they might think is silly. And tip number 7, which is my favorite tip, is to do some kind of a flash sale or an engagement campaign or something like that, or a cash injection or something like that, where you are selling a whatever, right? Maybe you're selling a workshop, maybe you're selling a mini course, maybe you're selling a bundle of some kind, typically for a lower cost, I would say under $100. And one of the bonuses that you can include as a part of that bonus or as a part of that bundle is a phone call with you. Now, typically, if they're getting a bonus in call, it's typically a shorter conversation because some of these people are not going to be a good fit to actually work with you in your higher level package, but that's okay. You can have a shorter call, you can do a 2-call process, and potentially the people that are a good fit, you can enroll them into your program from there. But this is an amazing strategy that I use all the time in my business, and it works incredibly well, especially if you have a salesperson on board, so you don't have to spend all this time working and doing the calls. But if you don't, that's totally fine. Most of my clients don't have a salesperson, so don't worry about that. But this is an incredible way for you to boost your sales call bookings, being able to have more conversations, and really that's at the core of everything that we're doing, right? Is actually having those conversations, making an impact, and giving people clarity about how you can actually help them so that if they are a good fit, you can then enroll them if it's a match. So anyway, there's a lot of other things you can do to increase your call bookings. You can do a launch, you can do a funnel, you can do a lot of different things. So I do get into the step-by-steps inside of my program, so I'm not gonna get into all of those details here, but hopefully these 7 tips actually helps you, and some of these, hopefully you can actually tweak in your strategy right now or implement in your strategy right now to help you get more call bookings immediately. And if you do, if any of these things you start implementing and you do start getting some calls, please reach out to me, go on Instagram, send me a DM. I'm at Heart Behind Hustle, and I would love to know that these things are actually making an impact for you. So send me a DM, I would love to celebrate you and get to know you a little bit. Now, that's all I have for you in this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.